Hi there, and welcome to the demo of MentionMe's Customer Advocacy Platform. For the purpose of this, we'll be using a fictional digital-first sportswear brand called Apollo. I'll be referring to two customer journeys throughout. So we have Alex here, who's the head of CRM at Apollo. A few key challenges that she might have, so not just around customer acquisition, but also to be able to identify who her true brand advocates are and give them the best experiences possible to get them to come back for more. Two additional challenges she might have would be around increasing marketing database and using MentionMe segmentation to improve their own segmentation. And not only that, acquiring customers, but also being able to retain those high value customers as well and make sure they're constantly advocating the brand. We also have Sarah here, potentially heads up the head of paid marketing channel. She can use MentionMe to streamline her paid search channels, and as a result of that, reducing the CPA in doing that as well. I'll also be talking about 3 end customer journeys throughout. So each of these customers has been acquired differently. I'll start with Olivia, who potentially might have been acquired organically, so through a Google search or like an Instagram post or something like that. We also have Sasha, who is her friend that Olivia has referred to the brand. And then we have Gnanesh. So Gnanesh has been targeted through a paid ad based off referral data that we know about advocates such as Olivia and Sasha. So Olivia is on Instagram, sees one of her friends' posts and is keen to buy the top. So she goes on Google, goes through her usual shopping journey. Outside of MentionMe, I imagine you will probably have some sort of segmentation set up. In the case of this, you will probably have some email flows set up for first-time buyers. What this is also showing you is additional data that we can send that as well. So whether customers are referees, what link they've used. This can be automatically passed to you if you're using one of our native integrations. Either way, this data can still be provided to you. But in this case, we're focusing on just first-time buyers. And this is where MentionMe comes into play for the first time. So this is a JavaScript tag which will sit on typically an order confirmation page, and we'll be collecting some customer information and also some information about their purchase. What we have in the background is MentionMe's machine learning tool, which is measuring 2 key stats about each customer throughout their buying journey. So we will know at each touch point your customer's propensity to refer, so how likely they are to refer your brand, and also their extended customer revenue. So how we look at that is the revenue not just from customers like Olivia, but also the revenue on their referrals as well. And what we can also do is predict that over the next 12 months. Because in this case, Olivia has come through an organic channel, we might detect that she's not ready to refer because she has a low propensity to refer. So in this case, we might want to show her something different instead of a referral offer. Whilst we want all of your customers to be referring, we understand that not everyone is quite ready to refer at different stages of the customer life cycle. But what we want to make sure is show her something else to at least keep her engaged in the brand. In this case, it might be something like request a review, but we could also show her potentially an NPS review, give her a choice of offer, or a newsletter sign up or something like that. Ideally, though, she is shown a referral offer if she ever reaches that high propensity to refer segment. So she'll be shown the referral offer. In this case, we're using 20% off the next purchase, but it could be something like a gift card or a charitable donation or a competition entry. She wants to start referring Apollo with her friends, and then she's shown a number of channels that she can do this. So she can share digitally, so in this case via Facebook. She essentially has this link that she would be sharing around her friends. These are also mobile responsive, so if she's on her phone, she can share via WhatsApp or SMS. Or she can use MentionMe's name sharing functionality, and this is why we're called MentionMe. So if I'm a friend of Olivia, I know that she is an existing customer of Apollo, and Olivia can say to me, just use my name at the checkout and you can get your discount that way. We see around 1/3 of referrals coming through this channel. In this particular case, Olivia wants to share Apollo with one of her friends, Sasha's, and she just does this digitally. And this is where we introduce Sasha. So she's a brand new customer of Apollo again. She's never used them before, but she's asked Olivia to refer her to the brand. Olivia will send her link. In this case, it's through her own email client. The first thing Sasha needs to do as a brand new customer is register for the offer. So again, in this case, it's just 20% off her next purchase, but there's plenty of other offers that you would be able to run and test as well. So Sasha enters her email address. For your referees or for your new customers, we also give them the option to sign in to track their opt-in to marketing communications. Again, if you're using one of our native integrations, we will automatically provide you this, which can sync up to our email flows. Even if you're not, this is still data we can easily pass to you as well. She clicks the call to action to get her reward. In this case, we're rewarding via a coupon code. That's a fairly common way of fulfilling the offer. However, as I mentioned, we can do something around third-party vouchers, or if you would like to, you can fulfill the reward on your side for something like a free gift or competition entry or something. But in this case, Sasha wants to purchase straight away. She'll also be emailed this code if she wants to use it at a later date. She goes onto the website and makes her purchase. And again, she'll reach the order confirmation page that Olivia was shown previously. Again, it's the same tag that will sit there and will track the similar metrics as Olivia was shown before. So again, using MentionMe's machine learning, we can predict that Sasha, in this case, because she's been referred, she has a high propensity to refer, and that she is likely to have a high predictive ECR as a customer as well. So in this case, we might just suggest show her a referral offer straight away. We then introduce Sarah, who heads up Apollo's paid marketing channel. What we can do at MentionMe is using our lookalike audiences feature, is we can create seed audience for you based off referral data. So in this case, we've got seed audiences set up around existing customers who joined the referral program, existing customers who've shared. Sarah can then integrate them directly into her Meta or Google ads. These are synced weekly. And then you can target only those customers who we think are likely to advocate your brand. So this is typically saving around 15 to 50% CPA because you're only targeting those customers who we think might advocate for your brand. So how this looks, so once Sarah's logged in, she can just start off building an audience. In this particular case, she wants to target highest value successful referrers. So again, this is not just what we showed in Sasha and Olivia's example before. We can also use that data to build these audiences. If you want to create a bigger audience of contacts, you might want to look at something like active referrers, existing customers who've referred a brand. In this case, we're just looking at successful referrers. Sarah then creates this audience and integrates with Facebook. And this is where we introduce Gnanesh. So again, Gnanesh is a brand new customer of Apollo. He's never used them before, but he's on Facebook one day and he sees an ad which is targeted to him using the referral data that we have around similar customers such as Olivia and Sasha. He's keen to make a purchase, so he clicks on the ad, is taken to the product page directly, goes through the usual standard purchase journey, and then again hits the order confirmation page. We can look at the metrics again. So because he's not been referred, he's come through a paid channel, we can predict he's got a low propensity to refer. So in this case, we're suggesting the next best action to keep him engaged. He's not ready to refer, but let's keep him engaged. Let's keep his advocacy score up. Let's get him to sign up to the newsletter for 20% off his next purchase. This is just an example. As I mentioned, we can also do stuff like an NPS, a choice of offer, but in this case, we're showing a newsletter offer. So hopefully that should give you a better idea of the different customer journeys that people can go through with your brand and how they might interact at different stages. What we're going to show you now is what's available in the MentionMe platform for Alex and for Sarah to use. So those are the initial customer journeys, but what Alex might be able to see 6 months later. Once she logs in, she can see the standard referral stats. So how many customers have been acquired purely through referral, and also the revenue that's generated. If you're collecting newsletter opt-ins, we can also show that here. But what we can also see are more advanced stats, so potentially looking at how your extended customer revenue has looked since you've launched. So there's two key things that we will typically see here. So if I've not been referred, I typically won't spend as much with your brand. If I've been referred, I will typically spend more. And we can also see that additional revenue spent from referrals as well. What Mention Me is doing is creating that segmentation for you. So we will automatically bucket your customers into low, medium, and high ECR. So not only give you that data, but also give you actionable insights on how you can change that statement or what you can do about those segments. So if, for example, if you've got low ECR customers, we can give recommendations on how to push them up, keep them engaged, push them up into different segments. For those high ECR customers, you might want to treat them slightly differently. They're your key customers, they're your VIP customers who are advocating your brand. So again, we're not just providing you the data, we're also giving you recommendations for each of these. So while this gives you a great snapshot of how things look now and how it's done previously, what we can also do is forecast how things might look over the next 12 months. Two examples here. So you've done a great job in acquiring these advocates, but what's going to happen if you potentially don't interact with them over the next 12 months? If you don't nurture them, you may lose them. Contrary to that, you may have some advocates who you aren't interacting with who have great potential. So again, we can give you recommendations on potentially how to turn those people into true advocates. So I've mainly talked about here the customer revenue. So again, that's not just the revenue from your customers, but it's also from their referrals as well. But what we can also do is look at a lot more detail into your full referral networks. And this is using our network insights tool. What we're doing here is we're ranking your top 10 networks based off a number of characteristics, which are shown here on the right-hand side. So this network that we're showing here has generated the brand almost £22,000. If we go back to the customer journeys, this blue dot here might be Olivia. Remember, she was brand new to the brand. She came through an organic channel. So she would be the person who's originated this network. She may have only purchased once, but what we can see is her referrals. So she's referred a number of customers, but what she's also done is created these almost pockets of micro-influencers. Again, whilst it looks nice, you can download this information. We can also, again, if you're using one of our native integrations, we can automatically pass you this information. So you might want to contact these people and thank them for being great customers. You might want to find out what caused them to actually be able to refer way more than other customers as well. There's different things that we can suggest. In this particular case, because Olivia's done such a great job at referring the brand and creating this revenue for Apollo, we're suggesting here to add her to a VIP segment and target with a VIP campaign. For something like Apollo, it might be like an in-store product launch or something like that. How this might look in a year's time or so. So that was the last 6 months. What Alex can do is look at this detail and look at this data in a lot more detail. So these are the key stats that I mentioned before, and this will show you how well the referral program has been running. So what we know are 3 key stats about referral. So if I've been referred, I'm more likely to purchase than non-referrers. I'm more likely to refer other people due to the great experience that I've had. And a really key part that we're seeing with a lot of companies these days, I'm more likely to come back and purchase again compared to if I've not been referred. Down here will help Alex show the segmentation in a lot more detail. As I mentioned, Mention Me is doing this all on your behalf. So not only are we bucketing your customers into high, medium, and low ECR, we will also know which of those are active, dormant, and lapsed. We look at an active customer as someone who's not just purchasing, but also potentially sharing a lot as well. We don't want to just ignore someone if they've purchased once, because they may have shared your brand 5, 6, 7, or 8 times in the background. And again, not just providing you the data, which you can obviously download, we can automatically send if you're using a native integration. We will give you recommendation and suggested actions to take for each case. And we will plan this over a 6-month, 12-month, 18-month, 24-month relationship. This should hopefully help you visualize how that prediction and the forecasting might look over the next 12 months. So this is where we would be on the left-hand side. So you've done a great job of acquiring these high ECR customers, but if you don't nurture them, if you don't interact with them, they potentially might lapse over the next 12 months. On the flip side, as I mentioned before, you might have these potential advocates here who you aren't necessarily contacting at the moment or doing anything with. We can give you suggestions on how to push them up into these higher brackets as well. So you're not only retaining those customers, you're activating them and pushing them up into higher ECR segments. So in this case, Apollo is turning 10 years old and is inviting customers to a celebration and sending them a 20% off in store. So you're changing that digital journey to an in-store journey. The last piece I want to touch on is earned growth. So this is a key metric which MentionMe will look at. So we believe that the best way to sustainably grow a business is the obvious thing about getting customers to come back for more, but also to bring their friends as well. And what earned growth will show you is a metric which is telling you how well your business is growing if you only look at those channels. So if you were to remove all spending on paid channels, how is your business growing? So this can show you the stat at the time, but also show you how this has improved over time as well. And this is information that Olivia can bring back to the business and essentially prove to Apollo how well MentionMe has been working for your brand.
Seamlessly integrate with your essential customer platforms so you can activate, nurture, and retain more loyal fans.